Fabulous. So here we are on today's Wednesday workshop, and I don't know if you noticed, but I've put a little video up that's got some of the titles of what's coming up over the next probably couple of months worth. I think there's lots of them. So that's good. But today we're going to be looking at kind of finding purpose and direction, and it might be as you're listening to this, you kind of feel, yeah, I know where I'm at. I've got my direction. I know what my life's about, and that's good. And that's great. And hopefully there will still be some stuff in here that kind of will help enhance that. Although you might be feeling a little bit kind of lost and, I don't know what I should be doing or whatever. And this hopefully will give you some ideas, some thoughts, some insights, and also remove some of the obstacles towards getting that clarity of where you want to head. And there's lots of ways to approach kind of finding our purpose and direction, finding what we want to be doing with our lives, what matters to us. Some people will go off, and I've had friends do this, and they will go off traveling around the world. And a very good friend of mine did that because he'd been working up to he was about 48 from about the age I am now, in fact. And he'd been working, and he saved up lots of money, and one day just woke up and went, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? What's this about? And so he took his savings and he bought one of those one-way ticket around the world jobbies where you can go anywhere you want, but you can't double back on yourself. And he spent 12 months doing that. Unfortunately, I think maybe sometimes that could be more of a distraction than actually finding the thing, because he's more frustrated now than he was when he went. That was several years ago now. But now all he has, unless of course you take the fact that actually his purpose and what he really wants to do is travel, and that's where his frustration comes from. Because this is I Meditate, we're going to be looking at some kind of simple, I say simple, all this stuff takes dedication. To get the most out of it, you've got to put some time into it. But one of the best ways that we can begin to notice what matters to us, what our purpose is, if we want to be doing something in life, if we feel like, and I'll use my own stuff in the examples with this, and this is probably, for me, was one of the most affirming. I've spent a lot of time with different coaches and training to do life coaching and spiritual life coaching. And then there's all these methods of, writing out and answering all these questions and doing this and expanding this and bringing this down and this, that, and the other. And then one day someone turned around to me and said, what brings a tear to your eye? And I was like, well, what do you mean? So what is it that when you see it or experience it brings that well of emotion up? Something so profound, so beautiful for you that it moves you to tears. Not necessarily like crying, obviously not talking kind of beside ourselves with emotion and sadness. We're talking something that stirs you so passionately that when you hear about it, or you witness it, or you watch it, it moves you to express that emotion. It could also equally, as well as tears, when I was told it was, what makes you cry, it could also be what moves you to laugh and just feel amazing. And for me at that point, I was already doing what I do now. But I'd been questioning which direction I should be going in, where I should be heading with things. And when I thought about it, and I don't do this too often for the sole purpose, but the one thing, and this illustrates the kind of thing I'm talking about, the one thing for me was when you watch something or read something, a book, film, where the main person in that goes on a journey, and that journey absolutely transforms their life. It could be that something has happened and against the odds they've overcome it. It could be a journey they've been on. Literally, there's a really nice film about the Camino de Santiago with, the name will come to me, Emilio Estevez and his dad, whose name I can't remember at the moment, and that's a really beautiful and profound film. And that's the book of the film of the book of the film. That's probably the one right there. Yes, that's it, The Way. And it's a wonderful film. And seeing the journey and the transformation that goes on, there are moments in that where I find those moments so beautiful that it just brings up a pouring of emotion. And I was told by this one coach, Martin Sheen, thank you, Sally. I was told by this one coach that when you find that thing that moves you so much, that's your purpose, that's your calling, and there is something in there that you can do, that you can be part of, and that's why I do what I do now. So very simply, when it comes to finding purpose and direction, we can just be very mindful of what moves us. Mindful of, it might be we hear of a certain group of people that face certain challenges, and it moves us, and we feel that emotive behind it that says, I need to do something, I want to do something. So simply, just being aware of the things that are in the world, being mindful of how we respond to them emotionally, could be a real strong indicator of our true purpose, of our direction, where we should be heading, or where, if we chose to head, we would maybe find the most rewarding aspect of our lives. Another way is through meditation, just being still. Once you start practicing, once you start nurturing that stillness and that quiet, there's a few things that happen. Well, one, the deeper you get into meditation, the more you practice, you get, some people call them psychic phenomena, some people call them just phenomenon. But there are different things, and some of them are quite bizarre. I don't know if anyone's ever done any kind of Siddha. I've never known how to pronounce it. Yoga, which is all meditation. It's a meditational yoga practice, and in that you're working with your body's energy. And once you get into that, you get to a point, and it was the bizarrest thing I think I've experienced when it comes to meditation, where the energy is working in your body, you're moving it through, and it's clearing blocks. And the more you get into it, the more it starts pushing those blocks through and clearing. And I was living in a flat in Shrewsbury, and I was, my partner at the time was out, so I was doing my practice, and literally I started bouncing. I was sat cross-legged, but I started bouncing, and I was literally, and to the point I couldn't. If you asked me to physically recreate the amount I was bouncing up and down, literally sat on the floor like this, going bang, 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 I couldn't. But the sound through the floorboards sounded like someone's washing machine going. It was a crazy experience. And when we do meditation, there are these things that happen, but these are not the things to focus on. Sometimes people say to me, I had this come to me in meditation, I had that come to me, what does it mean? A lot of the time it is just our minds releasing, and that's not the purpose, that's not the focus. The focus of the meditation is that stillness and that place of observation where we can start to notice what's going on behind the scenes. If you think about it like a theatre stage, where you've got your actors and the performance up front, and that's our everyday life. And then you get behind that curtain, behind that barrier, and you enter a different world where you see what's going on behind the scenes. What makes this? What impulses drive that? Which again leads into mindfulness as well. But through meditation, through fostering stillness, through just observing the things that come up for us when we're meditating, we can become more and more aware of our purpose and find direction. You can use guided meditations to do that. I think, I'm trying to remember now, but last year when I was running the Hypnotic Journey programs, I think we did one there about finding our purpose. So you can use either meditation or hypnosis as a way of uncovering what your purpose is, what direction to head into. And sometimes it's about finding that purpose. Sometimes it's about, okay, I kind of know what I want to do, but what's the best way of moving forward for this? And one of the key things is to, when we, how do I word this? When we step onto that place and go, this is what I'm about, this is where I want my life to go, we're basically inviting change into our lives. We're inviting change to come, because usually when we find our direction, when we find our purpose, what we have been doing, unless we've been fortunate enough to already be doing that, what we have been doing suddenly can seem quite empty. And then we have a choice. And the moment we have choice, we have change. You can't make a choice without something changing. So when you find your purpose, when you find your direction, or you go, this is what's calling me, this is where I want to head, this is what I want to be doing, there comes that moment of choice. And that choice is, do I take that step? Do I make that move? Or do I just allow things to stay on as they are? And that fear of change can sometimes be the thing that holds us back from actually living more our purpose and living that life with that focus and direction. The not often quoted, but the occultist Aleister Crowley is when he is quoted, is usually quoted very much the quote of "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law," which has been taken to be permission to just do whatever you want. However, that's not what he's talking about in that. And they, for some reason, people always miss the second part of that quote off, which is, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. And by will, he means your true purpose. So in that message, and it's a message that is told over and over again, that quote is saying, find out what your true purpose is, what your true will is, and then do it. And do nothing else. Live it. However, that's not always practical, because we have responsibilities. We have other people in our lives. We have to live. And it's not always a case of jumping straight into it. But there's an exercise, and I really encourage everyone to do this. I haven't spoken about it for a while, but it's something I really think is a wonderful practice. And in fact, at the beginning of a year, as we're recording this and doing this session, it's a really good time to do this. Set aside for yourself a couple of hours, a Sunday afternoon when you've not got anything on, or a couple of hours ideally, so you can just do it all in one sitting. And what you do is you write out your ideal day. And this is another good exercise that can help you see the things that you want in your life and help you focus in on your purpose and direction. But write down your ideal day. Notice I'm not saying perfect, because perfect it is, if you strive to reach that perfection, you're always going to be disappointed. But your ideal day, it's got to be realistic. It can't be, I won the lottery and now I live on an island and have my own private jet, because realistically, the odds of that happening are pretty slim. However, within reason, this ideal day can be taking place. If you've always wanted to move to Spain, then you can have your ideal day in Spain, because actually moving to Spain is something that you could probably make happen. So you write out your ideal day. You can be wherever you want within reason. If you can see that within the next 3 years you're going to have enough to buy your own private island, go for it. Put it on that island. So ideal day. And you write it like a diary, and you start from waking up. I wake up. It's your ideal day, so you can be in your ideal bedroom. Describe it. I look around the bedroom, such and such colour on the walls, and blah blah blah, or however that. I'm in a 4-poster bed. Whatever that ideal would be for you. Do you wake up? Once you wake up, do you do any sort of exercise? Do you do some meditation? Do you do some yoga, some stretching? In mine, I wake up, and my ideal day, I would be living within walking distance of a beach, and I would go down to the beach and I would do some meditation down on the beach to start my day. And you go through your whole day step by step. What do you have for breakfast? Why are you having that? It's your ideal day, so whatever your ideal breakfast would be, that's what you can have. So for me, it's kind of natural yogurt, fruit and nuts and stuff, because just thinking about it actually just makes my taste buds go. And then what are you doing with your ideal day? For your ideal day, you could be doing your ideal job, or maybe you don't work at all. Maybe your ideal day is you've got to a position where you're not having to work. So go through each phase of the day, but don't just write down, I get up and I go to the beach and I do some exercise. Put into it the why of every action. Why is your house by the beach? Why is it you get up and go down to the beach every day? Why? And then even more important, how does doing that thing make you feel? And you do that for your whole day. So I'll give you an overview very quickly. My whole day, when the last time I did this, and it doesn't change that often, is I get up, I go down to the beach, I do some meditation and some stuff down on the beach. I come back up, I have that nice breakfast. I have a morning where I'm working on some workshops, and I have a client to see online. In the afternoon, I'm arranging some travel plans because I'm going and doing a workshop or a retreat somewhere. I have another client. I do a bit of writing because I enjoy writing. So why wouldn't you have that in your ideal day? And then it comes to the evening, and in the evening, I take a nice stroll along the coastal path down to the nearby little villagey towny bit where there's a wonderful pub where you can go and have a lovely bite to eat. And then from about 8:30 onwards, there's a music session. So I go and I can play music. And your ideal day is, if you had to live that day every day for the rest of your life, you'd go, yeah, that's all right. That's, I like that. Yeah, that'd be good. When we do this exercise, and we're not going to do it today because obviously we'd still be here at 11 o'clock at night. But I do recommend doing it, because what we're doing is what we consciously believe we want out of life. Think about your conscious mind is about that much of your body. If your body was an iceberg, it's the bit above the surface. And what our conscious mind and our ego thinks we want out of life, and what our purpose is, can actually be quite different to what our inner self, our unconscious mind thinks. By doing this exercise, you're engaging both the conscious and the unconscious, because your unconscious mind is where your imagination is and where your emotions are. So if you were just writing this out logically, thinking about it, well, I like this, so I'll put this down, and I like this, put this down. It's only a logical process. But by writing about the why and the emotion behind the different things that are a part of your ideal day, you're engaging your unconscious mind as well, which gives you a better overall picture of things that are important to you. Once you've written it out, stick it in a drawer somewhere, put it under your pillow, and leave it for about a week. And then go back and read it. if you're fortunate, you might already be doing a lot of what's on there. And that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. There'll always be extra bits that you can kind of look at. But so imagine I've gone a week on, I bring this out, I'm reading about this, waking up, going down to the beach and everything. Obviously, where I am now in the middle of Whitchurch, Shropshire being the largest landlocked county, there isn't a beach within a 10-minute walk's distance. So I can't do that. But what I can do is when I come in here, in fact, just over the other side, since I rearranged the room, and do my meditation practice, I could put on some music with the sounds of the sea, maybe waves lapping on a shore. It's not the same as being actually on the beach, but it's, once my eyes are closed, I can imagine, I can be there in my mind. Maybe if you wanted to take it that far, you could have a little sandpit, and when you do it, sit on a chair and place your toes in the sand with the music playing. So I might not be able to be on the beach, but I could certainly recreate aspects of that, even here in the middle of Whitchurch. I could eat the breakfast that I want, that ideal breakfast, rather than maybe just grabbing a bit of toast every morning because it's the quickest and simplest thing. I can look at my day, and if I'm going to be writing during the day, I can make sure I create a space for writing. If I'm going to have clients, I can create that. And if I want to be working on workshops, I can do that. So by going through this exercise, writing out and creating your ideal day, when you go back to it a week later, start looking for those things within that description, and you take a couple of hours of it because you're going into quite a lot of detail. So you might find you've written, it's better to write it, to be honest, than type it, but whichever works. By the time I've done that, I can start looking at that and going, what can I do now that brings me closer to my ideal day? Because if I'm closer to my ideal day, there is something in there which means I'm living more my purpose and living my life in the direction I want to go. So I really, really recommend doing this exercise. There's a lot to it, and it's a lot of explaining. So obviously do listen back to it. And I am more than happy for anyone that's on here, if you want to kind of go over this exercise away from here and go through it again with you, then just let me know, and we'll set up a Zoom chat. And I will talk you through it and go into it in a little bit more detail. But I think there's enough there for you to kind of be able to give this exercise a go. And I know one or two of you have probably done this with me before, but I really do think it's one of the most wonderful exercises for helping us find that sense of direction, living with a little bit more purpose in life. Another thing we can do once we've got our ideal day, or we're getting a better idea of what we would like to be doing, our direction and our purpose, is beach meditation. My go-to always. Yeah, definitely. Is to bring in other skills, other techniques like meditation, like visualization, as just been mentioned. Because there may be things in your ideal day that at the moment either can't happen or aren't practical to happen, or you might get a sense that you've focused in on those things that move you, those things that are emotive for you, and you get a sense of wanting to be doing a certain thing in life. What can we use? You want to be. I'm going to use what I do. So you decide that you want to be a hypnotist, and you want your clients, and you want to be working with them. But at the moment, maybe that can't quite happen. Maybe you've got to get some funds behind you to do the training, or something like that. But what you can do, and sports people do this all the time, is you can use visualization. And I'll take you through it now. We'll do it now. This is a simplified version of and everything, the simpler you make things, the more profound and powerful I find they are. You can overcomplicate things, and then you're worried about the detail rather than the actual process. So what I'm going to ask you to do Where should we go with this? I'm going to ask you, if we take the week as being Monday to Friday and the weekend, I know some people work weekends as well, but if we say Monday to Friday is the main bulk of the week, which I guess it is, what I want you to do is just take a few moments to think about how you want to be feeling Friday evening, the person you want to be Friday evening as you're going into the weekend. It might be you want to get to Friday evening and go, right, I've earned this weekend. I've been working hard and I'm ready to relax and make the most of it. You might want to be feeling fulfilled, so you can almost give yourself the permission to take that time out. You might just want to be feeling relaxed. Maybe it's been a bit of a hectic week so far and you just want come Friday evening to be just like, So take a moment. How would you like to be feeling Friday evening? Once you know, just kind of either knock your mic on and off so I can see them flash, or somebody the other day did a wave. I don't know how you do that on Zoom. Or just put your camera on and off so I know that you've got an idea of how you want to feel Friday evening. Just let me know when you've got that. Yeah. Oh, look, Sally's put a thumbs up. That's clever. I have to find out how to do that. Yeah. Oh, I've got Linda's clapping. Claire's put a thumb up. Is there any reactions at the bottom? Oh, Caroline, yeah, you've got one. Sally Cook, have you got? She might be tending to the dog. But yeah, so to take it, I think everyone has got something. So what I'm going to ask you to do, there's lots of ways we can do this. Let's do it this way. I'm going to ask you to place your hands here like this. And in a moment, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Now, I don't want you to close your eyes on the first breath or the second breath. But on the third breath, as you breathe in, hold it a moment, and then as you breathe out, just allow your eyes to close, just at the pace that you need to take to go within for a while. And just let my voice guide you for a little while. Taking a deep breath in, hold it and just release it. Taking a second deep breath in, hold it, let it go. You can relax with that one. Taking that third deep breath in, hold it, and then as you release it, just in the time you need to take to relax and go within, just allow your eyes to gently close, and then just allow your arms to just sink down comfortably as you just relax for a few moments. It's good to relax. The more you relax, the better you can feel. And the better you feel, the more you can relax now with every breath you take, just letting go of tensions, and with every word I speak, just allowing yourself to let go. Let that idea, that sense of relaxation and comfort just spin and flow within you for a while. And I want you to just think about how you want to feel. How is it that you will feel come Friday evening? And in your mind's eye, I want you to picture yourself at that place that you want to be. So maybe you're just at home in a comfy chair, having got the bulk of the week done and feeling however it is you want to feel. Just picture that you. Picture that you sat on that chair, or doing whatever you're doing. Maybe you're having a soak in the bath, or maybe you're out. Maybe that you's out. Maybe you're out having a good time because you've worked hard this week, or wherever that you is on Friday night. Just picture that now. If you're not sure what's happening Friday night, then just go for your favourite chair and see yourself in it. just really bring that image in your mind to life. Don't worry if you're not seeing it like a movie. Just create it, think about it, imagine it, however you do that. See the you want to be, feeling the way you want to feel Friday night. Notice how that you's sitting or standing. Notice how that you's moving around. Notice the facial expression on that you. Are you laughing? Are you smiling? Do you just look like kind of relieved and relaxed? Whatever that facial expression is, become aware of that on that you. That's right. Really seeing that you. And now what I want you to do is I want you to drift into that you. Drift into that you. See what that you sees. Hear what that you hears. Feel, know, and understand everything that you feels, knows, and understands that allows you now to be that you, feeling the way you want to feel Friday evening. Be there now. Just be there now, being that you, trying that you on, doing what that you's doing Friday evening that has allowed you to feel that way. And as you're trying that you on, really connect with that feeling that you want Friday evening. And pay attention to where within your body you sense it. So you're not just thinking about it, not just feeling it, but where in your body are you feeling that? Example would be if it was butterflies, you'd be feeling it in your stomach, but it's not obviously going to be butterflies. But where within your body does relaxation start? Or fulfillment start? Whatever that feeling is, where within you is it? And as you become aware of that, wherever that is for you, I want you to let that feeling, take it and spin it, move it and spin it within you, allowing it to build and get stronger and stronger and stronger as it spins and flows within you, being that you now. And as that continues to spin, as you really get experience of what it is to be that you now, in a moment I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in. When you do that, you're going to hold that breath for a moment. And you're going to release it and let it out just in the time you need to take to bring back everything that you knows and understands that will allow you to feel that way come Friday evening. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. And then let it out. And as you're letting that breath out, I want you to just bring back every insight, every understanding, every resource that will allow you to feel that way on Friday. And when you get to that point, to that place on Friday, and you can feel that way, you'll be able to look back to now and know that it was this moment that has allowed you to feel like that Friday. And that feeling that you want Friday is yours. It always has been. It's just waiting there now for you. That's right. And then once you've done that, you can open your eyes, just give yourself a shake off, and then just pop your cameras back on to let me know you're here. Now, let's move my notes out of the way. So, like I said, we can use that exercise, that it's rehearsing basically. Sports people will use it. They will see themselves running or driving or doing whatever and performing at their best and dealing with things. And it's a really good technique. There's a part of your mind that doesn't know the difference between what you imagine and what's actually happening in the world around you. Well, we can use that. You can use that to imagine yourself living a life of purpose. Imagine yourself with that direction you're after and stepping into that you to get a feel of what that's like. And the more you rehearse that, the more you're going to get closer to experiencing and having a better idea of where you're heading, what you want. Of course, we're all enlightened and wonderfully connected people, so we already all know our directions and our purposes in life. So, but like I say, this exercise you can apply to lots of different aspects in life. When it comes to moving more towards living our life with purpose and with direction, like I said, usually it involves choices, and then choices involves change, and a fear of change, of not being able to let go, can sometimes be the thing that's stopping us from discovering Because let's face it, if you don't discover it, you haven't got to make the changes, which, if you're not great at change, is a safe way of getting away with not having to make changes. So we impose boundaries upon ourselves, upon us achieving, upon us succeeding or living, because we talk about living a life with purpose. This doesn't have to be a grand thing. It's very easy to get caught up in the likes of the Tony Robbins, like, live your life with purpose. 10,000 people in a room all chanting, yes, yes, yes. And they're all dreaming about luxury yachts and being rich. And that might not be what makes you happy. Actually might not be. I would be honest and share I during lockdown got very much into a lot of these motivationals and partly from watching how they use the stuff that I've been learning, but also from kind of, yes, no, I'll get myself ready, I'll get into it. And I've realized in the last 6 months that I have no interest in being some high flying entrepreneur, business person that's kind of never got 5 seconds in their own day because everything's work to bring the money in. So liberating when you kind of go, actually, my purpose is for me to teach and share and help people with the stuff that I've learned. That's why I've been learning it, so as I can pass it on. And that's, do you know what? I had that realization quite some time ago too. It's so freeing, isn't it? When you stop chasing this kind of actually imposed dream of what success is, and actually go, well, what would success be for me? If I can spend the rest of my life doing the thing that I love, that's a successful life. And doing the thing you love doesn't mean you're necessarily getting paid for it. You could choose to do, I could choose to go and do some other job and then do this in my spare time. I'd still be living it and doing it. I'd be able to use the stuff I've learned still every day. So it really can, but we can put barriers in the way because we fear change, because we fear success or achievement. And those boundaries then stop us perceiving what it is that we want. And so we're going to finish up today with a guided session to help remove those self-imposed boundaries that get in the way of us achieving, that help remove those boundaries that are based around fear of success. And like I say, success isn't necessarily fame and stardom. Success is just living the life you want to live happily. What's more successful than that? I mean, yeah. So I'm going to ask you to have a fidget to get comfortable. And we'll begin. The 3 breaths thing, by the way, if anyone ever is curious as why I always start with that. When I first got into studying Celtic spirituality and Druidry, every workshop, every retreat, everything I ever went to, it always started with, let's begin by taking 3 deep breaths. I just love it. It's just been there forever. So that's why we do that. It does help us. It kind of creates a bit of a boundary between what we have been doing and where we're going. But I just do it out of habit and because I love it. So there's the deep and meaningful in that one. So let's begin by taking 3 deep breaths. It is a good way to start. I like it. It works. And it's a good way to start many things, actually. I quite often will do it before going and performing. It's like 3 deep breaths and you're away. So get comfortable, have a fidget. We'll begin by taking 3 deep breaths. Now it's up to you when you close your eyes. If you want to close your eyes, and we are going to go into a little bit of hypnosis with this, nothing too deep, just a nice, gentle, guided. So if you want to go into that on the first breath, just allow your eyes to close to the first breath. If you want to kind of drift and go into hypnosis and follow this on the second breath, then close your eyes on the second breath. And if you want to wait till the third breath before you drift and go into this and follow my voice, then wait till the third breath. But whenever you choose to go with this and get the most from it, that's the time to close your eyes. Taking a deep breath in, hold it, and breathing out. Taking a second deep breath in, hold it, and breathe out. Taking a third wonderful deep breath in, hold it, and if you've not done so already, as you breathe out, just allowing your eyes to close. Allowing yourself to go within. Some people talk about deepening, going deeper. Or you can intensify. Whatever that sense of focusing within is, let that intensify, let it grow. And I know that sometimes it can be difficult to relax or to learn how to relax more than you ever have done before. And so as you sit there, your eyes closed, begin to become aware of your own thoughts, of your own sensations. I begin to wonder if you have ever had the pleasure of sitting on the bank of a river or on the shore of a lake or the ocean. Because there is something very comforting about just sitting there, listening to the peaceful sound of the waves as they move in and out in a continuous flow that just seems to go on and on, relaxing in the sun, feeling the soothing warmth and just letting the mind drift effortlessly. With that quiet, almost silent sound in the background of awareness. I'm not even sure you've ever done that before. I mean, you may not. Relaxed in that way. Listening to the peaceful quietness of water washing the shore. Perhaps it was a waterfall or just a silent place. In the centre of a woods, a happy memory of contentment, or just a dream. Of a place so comfortable and safe that it was easy to allow the body to relax. Everything to relax. Everything relaxing. I don't know, but I do know that everyone has a place they can go. A relaxing space deep down inside where they can really let go of all their cares and concerns and wonder at the wonder of those waves of relaxation, at the smooth heaviness of arms and legs as relaxation continues. Maybe it was the warm smoothness of the soft white sand you could hold in your hand and watch flow effortlessly through your fingers, the same sand that flows in an hourglass, hour after hour, with nothing to do for a time except let go and flow. Warm, heavy sand, listening into the waves of relaxation. Secure, inside and out, while you were sitting there by the shore, forgetting to make the effort it takes even to try to be aware of when or where that relaxation began, and the soothing sounds or sensations as you drift and allow yourself to go in, to rise up, to sink back down, allowing that sense of comfort and relaxation to flow and spin within you. And I wonder if you are familiar with fences, especially the electric fences used with horses. These fences have a few tiny strands of wire, and through that wire goes a current of electricity. Not the kind of electricity that's dangerous, just the kind that gives you a jolt, a bit like static electricity you get from walking on rugs. A sudden, sharp spark. These wires stretch all around the field, and as the horses walk from place to place, they quickly learn where they can go and where they don't want to venture. All it takes is a few brushes against the wire, a few sudden startling zaps, and being very smart animals, they learn to look but not touch. They learn so well, in fact, that after a while the farmer can turn off the electricity or even replace the wires with string, and those horses will stay put, fenced in by nothing at all, stopped in their tracks by a thought. By the feeling that some places are off limits, that where they are is safe, as long as they just stay put, satisfied to be where they are. An invisible barrier or boundary created by the mind. But once one horse goes through it, then they all will follow behind, and that barrier is shattered and broken, with no restraints on where they go next. But where to go next is a problem everyone faces, and not everyone knows how to solve, which is probably why you can earn a fortune these days telling people their fortunes and giving advice on what they should do. We don't know how a horse knows where to go, but we do know that once they know where they're going, it's difficult to stop them or rein them in, because once a tired, hungry horse sees that stable or barn at the bottom of a hill, all you have to do is give it free rein, and it will take you there as quickly and surely as it can, because it wants to be comfortable, it wants to be fed. And once it knows where to go to get what it wants, even an imaginary boundary can be leaped over on the way to that goal. What fun to hold on tight and just let it run, trusting that it will take you there swiftly and surely. That is a pleasure every child can treasure, and so can all adults. And I want you to just allow yourself a moment to be aware of your breath, of breathing gently in, gently out. I wonder, is it the in-breath or the out-breath that you're most aware of now, that allows you to go even deeper, to relax, to let go, and to enjoy a moment of silence, a moment of peace. And I don't know whether it'll be early Friday evening when you notice that feeling that you wanted to feel is there for you. Or whether it'll be later on Friday evening when you notice that that feeling you wanted is there for you. But whenever you notice that feeling you wanted Friday evening is there, you can smile and allow that feeling to spin and grow even more within you. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 10. 1 is where you are now. 10 can be eyes open, feeling relaxed, refreshed. If you've been tense or if you've any aches and pains, just leaving them behind, just letting them go. That's 1, every cell, fibre and muscle of the body coming back to normal everyday waking consciousness. Number 2, to go forward, to embrace change and discover your purpose and live the life you want. 3, feel a whoosh of energy from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. Energizing, refreshing, feeling good. 4 to 5, take a nice deep breath in. Allowing that oxygen to fill the mind. 6 to 7, if you've got something still to do this evening, then you'll be able to get that done easily and relax later on. 8, 9, if not, when it's time to go to bed, you can just drift off easily and effortlessly tonight and sleep really well. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Eyes open, stretch, have a fidget, feel good